Namaste. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what is Satori and how did I come into the experience of Satori. So there's a lot of background information about my life that might be helpful to you. I wrote a book about it. It's called Godhead. It's available. This is actually the cover. We painted that, me and my friend Emily. I'll put the website down there. This is the cover of my 5th book called Great Quiet World. But this one's called Godhead, and it's written there, but you can't see. If you want to read it, you can. And I'm always here to help you. I have no other goal in life but to help share this experience of Satori. So this is the truth. This is the true yoga, the true science. And it's where science and yoga combine, religion and science combine to the one true reality, the reason we are here, to discover who we are. So if I can be of help for you, that's wonderful. Feel free to contact me. So just real quickly, background information. I was raised Catholic and I believed in God, but I didn't know God. I didn't know anything about God. A couple of my friends left us when I was in high school, and I was so confused and distraught, and I blamed God, I blamed religion, I blamed Christianity. So I left the church, I left God, I became an atheist, agnostic, whatever you want to call it. I started studying physics at the University of, or Texas State University here in San Marcos. So I was studying physics, I was studying the reality of quantum mechanics and all sorts of different philosophies, as many as I could get my hands on. You know, I always loved to read. I always found myself as an intelligent person. I wasn't going to just believe something because somebody told me to. So I eventually left the country, spent some time living in Brazil, and I was studying at a university down there. I came back from Brazil, came back from paradise. I had fallen in love in Brazil, fallen in love with Brazil. I had to say goodbye to her, I had to say goodbye to Brazil. I was surfing every day, it was beautiful. So I came back to Texas and just totally disillusioned with the world and with everything. I'm supposed to go to school now, I'm supposed to get a job and work, you know. It has to be something more. So this is when I met my friend who told me Jesus Christ is the Lord. He is the risen King. He is the eternal life, and He is here to work through me to give you His good news, His gift, which is salvation, liberation. So my friend told me this, and I was blown away. I was at an epitome of open-mindedness, so I listened to him. And I didn't believe him. Well, I did sort of believe him. I had faith in him, but I didn't know. I wanted to discover for myself. So I went, and this is how it all began for me. I closed my bedroom door, and I got on my knees and I prayed the first sincere prayer I've ever prayed in my life. And I said, God, if you are real, if you are real, then it doesn't matter if I believe or I don't believe. It doesn't change your reality if you are real. if you are not real, then it doesn't change it. If I believe or if I don't believe, it doesn't matter. If you're not real, nothing is going to happen from this. If you are real, you have the power to make me believe. You have the power to give me faith. And so I just said this. I said, if you are real, make me believe. I'm not going to believe in you. I'm not going to tell anybody about you if I have no reason to. If it was so clear, so obvious, so simple. And so I said that, and later that week, a few days later, I ended up going to the gym with the same friend, and he met this girl at the gym, the girl at the front desk, and she started a conversation about his tattoo, which was all, Christ the King. And he prayed for her right then and there and told her what he had told me, that she is a daughter, she is loved, she is God's, and God has great plans for her and for you and for me and for all of us. And this is our good news. This is the gospel. This is the good news. This is the gift. And it blew my mind again to see this interaction between him and her, and I was a third party just watching. And he brought her to tears, and she was crying, and she was thanking him for praying for her and her family and her mother, who was sick at the time. He prayed for her healing and for her health, and it was just so amazing. And it really spoke to me. And then she told us her name, and her name was Faith. And really, I had prayed for faith. I said, make me believe, give me faith. If you can, you have the power. And so this moment, if you've ever experienced synchronicity, it was exactly that. Only you know when something is synchronistic. And for me, this blew my mind. It was the first experience I've ever had of synchronicity. And it proved to me, beyond anything, that God is real. And He heard me. The reality, the universe heard me and spoke to me in a synchronistic event where it brought me, I asked for faith, and it brought me to Faith, the person. I met Faith. Literally, I met Faith. So, I never even, looking back now, it's been about 2 years since that moment. It's not like I believed in God at that moment. It was just a revelation of wonder, awe and wonder. And since that moment, I've gone on a wild journey to discover more of the true reality of this higher consciousness who I had entered into this relationship with in that moment. And I can say that I find myself here now. I remember that moment, and now here I am. And I haven't done anything. I haven't believed in anything to come to where I am now. It was just a direct experience. Like, oh, it was an experience that transformed me and my understanding of this world. And that was when I knew that there was something incredibly real, some incredibly real intelligence. And I was studying physics. I was atheist studying physics, you know. I wasn't going to just believe in something. This literally changed me. And I'm still changed today, and now I am empowered to talk about this. So it's a wonderful journey. And the moment that I offered up my own preconceived beliefs, you know, I said, okay, maybe I don't know if there is a God or if there isn't. And I opened myself to that possibility. What if there isn't? So, okay, I would like to know if there isn't. What if there is? I would also like to know if there is. So, this was before I had ever heard about enlightenment or Satori or ever thought about it or anything. But I was reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And that, I can say, changed my life. I also, in Brazil, discovered the Society for Krishna Consciousness, and I was invited to the Krishna temple for the anniversary of Krishna, and that blew my mind as well. So many wonderful experiences when you open yourself up and you leave the country and you live in a new place, and you're searching, and you're invited to the Krishna temple, and you say, okay, I'll go, you know, let's see what it's about. And then you're surprised when they say, oh yeah, you know, Krishna and the Christ and the Buddha and Ramana Maharshi, Nisargadatta, Maharaj, Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar, all of these incredible masters of yoga and enlightenment, you know, you were expecting to try to be converted to Krishna, and they're telling you Krishna consciousness is the universal truth. Everybody's teaching this. Listen to Jesus Christ. Listen to the Buddha. Listen to Adyashanti, who is alive today, teaching. These teachers, everybody is saying, trying to give you a map, a guide into Krishna consciousness, or Christ consciousness, or Buddha consciousness, Buddha nature. So just opening yourself up to these things will surprise you, and you'll start to see everybody's talking about the same thing. And yes, this was the synchronistic moment when I met Vic. This was the moment that my whole life course shifted, flipped upside down. And I started this video to talk about how I discovered Satori, how I approached it, how I came into it. And this is the most important point. I opened myself up to the reality, and I said, okay, maybe I'm not the only conscious entity here, you know, maybe there is another conscious reality, that a higher power that I could communicate with. And asking directly was the last ditch effort, shot in the dark, you know. I was here I was disillusioned with everything. I didn't want to go back to work or go back to school. So this was my last chance. If you're real, prove it. And it was proven. The proof was established for sure. So I invite you all to say this prayer. Ask if God is real. And even if you know that He is real, or she is real, or it is real, even if you know that there is a higher consciousness, I want you to ask and wait for the response. Don't continue living in the belief that, yeah, there's a God, you know? Yeah, He's probably taking care of us. Oh shit, but I still have to worry about all these things, you know? I still have my problems, you know? Forget about all that. This is a discovery that you will want to make. This is the discovery that there is a higher power guiding us, whatever you call it. If you want to call it your own higher self or your own higher consciousness. Yes, it's real, and don't take my word for it, but discover. And when you discover, when you experience synchronicity and you receive the message that, yes, I am real, then you will know that you are being guided, especially now that you have believed, truly believed and experienced. And this was about a year and 3 months before I experienced Satori. So I'm gonna make another video because this one's getting long as well, talking about more about Satori, but this was the moment. It's not about Satori, it's not about Samadhi. It is, but it isn't. This is the truth, that God is here taking care of us, and that's the strength that you're gonna have throughout the whole journey anyway. That's the only thing that's gonna allow you to go through the gateless gate. That's it. So discover that you are the son of God, or you are a daughter of God, and forget about everything else you've heard, you've listened to, all of your culture, society, language, family, traditions. Just forget about it. Just, if there is a higher power, and if you are here, and if you can directly speak to that, you're gonna want to discover that. So discover that, my friends. Namaste.